Good evening, creeps. You know, everybody's entitled to one good scare on Halloween.
I told you need to go check on the children.
But the podcasts of the Darkcast Network have enough scares to fill even the largest trick-or-treat sack.
No razor blades, I promise.
Join the pods of the Darkcast Network, including Murder News, Sinister Story Hour, Beyond the Rainbow, Cause of Death, October Pod AM, Rogue Darkness, Over the Fence, and me, Brenda, host of Horrifying History, for a pajama jammy jam of deliciously dark, devilish, and disturbing Halloween treats.
There was always something eerie about the second floor of this house.
We are like the house handing out full-size Snicker bars for your ears. And we're coming to this podcast, yes, the one you're listening to right now, on October 31st. That's Halloween Day 2022 on your favorite podcast streaming apps.
A long time ago, a man murdered his wife in that room.
Don't forget to wear your coziest pajamas for the Darkcast Network Halloween Sleepover, coming to this podcast on Halloween Day.
Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Kelly.
And you're listening to ODFM.
This episode is one Diamondback from Murder.
Oh, I like this.
Yes. Do you love snakes too?
I like them from behind glass.
Yes.
I find them intriguing.
Yeah, they're interesting.
My kids have like a whole list of nicknames for snakes, like Danger Noodle and
Love Danger Noodle.
Danger Noodle, Nope Rope.
Yes. Good ones.
I like those. There's a couple more. It's all from a video that they saw once that was absolutely hilarious.
Cute.
But yeah, I'm intrigued by them. But yeah.
But yeah, won't go sit in a snake den. No.
God, no.
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 I know. I have a friend that's so afraid of them. Even if you bring a fake one, she gets so angry and mad. Like, do not do that around her. We thought that was be a funny joke. It wasn't.
Oh, it did not go well.
No, she did not think it was funny. So, okay.
Sorry, I feel that way about clowns.
Yeah, well, we get it.
And spiders.
Oh, I know. You know, we do have the spider. He's doing such a good job in our window. He has caught like 8 or 9 big ass flies.
Oh, well.
And I'm like, I think you're going to stay for a while. Yeah, he's earning his keep. And he's very shy. So I'm okay with that.
I can respect that. I can respect that. It's when they personally attack me.
Yes. It's when they run across your hand or something while you're doing something that you're like, hey,
I was deathly afraid of them as a child. And my mom tried to use the philosophy of, if you don't bother them, they don't bother you.
Yeah.
And then one night, I distinctly remember one falling into my dinner plate as I was eating. That was a personal attack.
And you bothered me.
And I'm out. I'm done. No more dinner.
I'm sorry. That was your last chance.
Right. And she's like, if you don't bother them. I was like, I wasn't even looking up.
I didn't bother him at all.
It fell into my corn.
He was like, that looked really good.
Nope. That was, that theory went out the freaking window.
Thanks to Mom.
She also tried to say that they're more afraid of me.
Right. Than you are of them.
And I was like, I doubt that because they are moving towards me and I am backing up and they're still coming at me. So
and it doesn't seem like they even see me or know that I exist.
I don't feel like they don't look nervous at all. And I am literally peeing myself. So.
Theory doesn't really work.
Okay, sorry. All right, okay. Diamondbacks. Right.
Yes, Diamondbacks. So I've been missing the historical murder stories, so I figured I'd get a new one in there. I love the historical ones. They're so fun. So this is another. So this is the story of Ray Lizenbaugh, I think is how you say his name. He grew up in Alabama in the early 1900s, actually late 1800s and early 1900s.
Okay.
He began working in the cotton fields as a sharecropper. Not easy. I know my grandma's family did that. Yeah.
Good God.
Not easy at all. But later, when he was growing up, Ray's brother-in-law paid for him to go to barber school.
Oh, well, that was very nice of him. Super
nice. So he has a whole career he can do now.
Yeah.
He became known as the red-headed barber.
Okay. I mean,
whatever.
It must have been rare. Like the guy who's really good with the scissors. No, just the redheaded barber.
Nope, just the redheaded. Nope. In 1914, Ray married his first wife, Maud.
Maud,
yes.
Okay.
So it seems the marriage was not the best because by 1921, Maud filed for divorce, saying Ray was kinky.
That's a grounds for divorce.
Back then, apparently. And he also enjoyed sadistic sex.
So he might be like along the lines of like Armie Hammer, kinky.
Yeah.
Sadistic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she just wasn't comfortable with it, but I didn't get the details of what kind of kink or any of that, but it wasn't for her.
He's too kinky for me.
He's too kinky for me, he and his red hair. And at that point, I don't know why, but Ray changed his name to Robert S. James. So maybe he wanted something easier. I don't know. Or maybe he didn't want to know as the kinky red-headed barber. I don't know.
That's interesting. Like at the same time they got divorced?
I guess, yeah, soon after. So he's like, I don't want to be the kinky barber. So he then marries his second wife, Vera May.
Okay.
Which I think is such a cute name, Vera.
Okay.
They moved to Kansas and he opened a barbershop there.
Okay.
So Robert and Vera seemed to have a quiet life for a while. And people describe Robert as they describe him as pale, portly, with such attractive features as beady red-rimmed green eyes and a high nasal voice.
This guy's got a lot going for him.
Yeah. And he would slick back his red hair to his head like
a helmet.
Yeah.
Like a Ken doll.
Yeah. Not hot. No. Maybe back then it was hot. I don't know. But his neighbors said he was, quote, less than a half wit.
Wow, that's low.
Yeah. Not so smart. Not great at academics.
Oh my God. But by all means, take a razor to my head.
I know. Yeah. Not so smart. Not so good looking. But apparently he was super charming.
He would have to be. He somehow got two people to marry him.
Yeah, exactly.
Some redeeming quality.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, doesn't it take some wit to be charming? And isn't that kind of smart?
Was it like dumb charming? Like puppies? Like
like you're so cute.
Like big dopey puppy?
That would wear out really fast.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was so charming that one day he was confronted by a rageful man with a shotgun for impregnating his daughter, who was not Vera May, his wife.
Oh.
Oops. Yeah. Whoop.
Oh.
Apparently he was charming enough to
have some on the side too. Holy shit. Okay.
So also during this time, Robert found out that he had been the sole beneficiary of his uncle's life insurance policy, and his uncle
it wasn't from like Nigeria.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he got an email. You're the only beneficiary.
I need your help in transferring this money to you.
Right. Oh God. Don't fall for it, Robert.
Don't fall for it. But he got a check for $4,000. He didn't even know his uncle was dead, I guess. He suddenly gets this check and he's like, all right, I kind of hit the lottery here. So
sweet, yeah.
Having hit his little lottery, he leaves Vera.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, because he's so charming. And he moves to Fargo, North Dakota.
Did he change his name again, too?
No. This time he's like, okay, I'm the one leaving, so I don't have to change my name.
Okay.
I don't know if that's why. So he opens up a barbershop there, and that's in 1932. This guy just hold on to your britches because this dude's got a lot going on.
Oh, shit.
So soon enough, Robert finds another willing companion, and he marries his third wife, Winona Wallace.
Winona Wallace. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've all got interesting names. Maud, Vera, Winona. So after marrying, Robert quickly takes out a life insurance policy for $14,000. So maybe he got this good idea. Yeah, he's like,
oh no,
that was such an easy payday. What if I did that again?
Oh my God.
So a few months after marrying Winona, the two, they go on their honeymoon to Colorado Springs. That's where I always talk about it's so beautiful down there, and I couldn't do a story without Colorado, apparently. I didn't even know it was a part of the story until I started writing it.
Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
At some point, are we going to circle back to Florida too?
Yeah, probably. No, we do go to California though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll add that in. So they go to Colorado Springs. They go to Pikes Peak, which is one of the highest summits in the Southern Rockies.
Okay.
There are some wicked roads. Like I won't even drive in the summer on some of those roads because they're off cliffs, and stuff. I'm guessing back in the 30s, they weren't much better. They're probably way worse. Well, they're driving down one of these windy roads.
Yeah.
Straight down the mountain. Oh, and somehow Robert loses control of the car and drives off the side of the mountain.
Yikes.
Yeah. Luckily for Robert, he somehow is able to jump and get to safety before the car goes down the hill.
Oh, so he ejected himself from the car.
He early ejected while Winona wasn't so lucky. So,
right.
Early ejection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Guys do that.
Yeah, they do. Okay. And he was one of them. So he jumps out and poor Winona, she's trapped in the car and she tumbles down the mountain with the car.
Oh, God.
So Robert goes to get help. And incredibly, when I almost said rescuers reach Winona, they find her body had been thrown from the car. She's unconscious, but alive.
Oh my God.
Her head is badly hurt. And they find something weird in the car. There's a bloody hammer in the backseat. That's odd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is.
So Winona spends a couple of weeks in the hospital until she's released. She's okay. Oh, I know. And she continues to recover in a Colorado Springs vacation rental type place.
Okay.
She has no memory of the accident, remembers going on the trip, but no memory. So during the stay at the rental, Robert goes to a nearby grocery store. He's going to go pick up groceries for him,
Mm-hmm.
Since he walked, he asks an employee for a ride back to the rental.
Okay.
Probably not wanting to carry a crap ton of groceries.
Right.
So when they get to the rental, Robert goes in and he finds Winona drowned in the bathtub.
What?
Weird.
Very weird. Very strange.
Yeah. So Robert told the medical examiner that Winona had been self-conscious about her ginormous gash on her head, probably had like blood matted to her hair and all that. She wanted to wash her hair, is what he said. And her doctor had said, you probably shouldn't wash your hair, at least not by yourself. It's going to be painful and dangerous, could make you dizzy.
Right.
But before he left, Robert, Winona told him that she was going to wash it anyway. And so he's like, well, she must have gotten dizzy, slipped in the tub while he was gone and drowned. Yeah.
And she didn't wait to have him help her or anything like that. This is not
adding up so well.
No. Mm-mm.
But this is the 1930s. So despite the bloody hammer having been in the car, authorities didn't question that at all. And they deemed Winona's death as an accidental drowning. So once again, lucky Robert, he gets all this insurance money. He's just,
oh my God.
Wow, payday after payday. So, you're reading all these different sources and all these stories are a little different, especially probably back then, a lot of them were told by mouth.
Right. Yeah. So
things are a little different, but he does marry again, this time to a woman in New Orleans, possibly a kind of in the moment wedding. Her name was Ruth Thomas. And apparently Robert quickly annulled the marriage, claiming he had been drunk when they wed. So he wasn't in his right mind. Whoops. It's like a Vegas story. But Ruth, she had a different story. She claimed Robert had insisted on taking life insurance out on her, and she refused, saying, quote, people who take out life insurance policy shortly end up dead.
Oh my God, she's the smartest woman we've talked to yet.
Yep.
Holy
she's
crap.
so smart that I think he was like, well, that's not going to work. So he annulled the marriage.
Oh.
Yeah, she got away.
God. She is the Elsa of these stories, the one who finally looks and says, you can't marry a man you just met.
Right.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you. We applaud you.
Yeah.
So when the ploy with Ruth doesn't work, Robert finds another way to keep funds rolling in. So Robert has this nephew, Cornelius, right? So he
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
Okay.
Yes. He was home on leave from the military. And Robert convinced Cornelius to take out an insurance policy on himself with Robert as a beneficiary. Probably like,
what?
I know, probably like, you're in the military, you know, it's easy to get hurt. I'll take care of you, you know, if something happens, but let's make myself a beneficiary. He must be very good at manipulating people. So
yeah, charming and manipulation. It's a fine line.
Yeah, very, very fine line. So it just so happens that Robert lent Cornelius his own car while Cornelius was on leave.
Okay.
Somehow Cornelius ends up driving it off a cliff and dies.
Wow, that's very strange.
I've heard of that before. That's happened. Weird. Why does this keep happening around you, Robert? So after his death, a mechanic inspects the car and he tells Robert, well, the steering wheel has been tampered with. So he wasn't able to steer, and that's why the car went off the cliff. So now Robert's even richer. He returns to Alabama.
Yeah, forget doing the barbering. I mean, this is way more lucrative.
Yeah, he's like, that takes so much work. This is so much easier. So he goes back to Alabama, and you know that brother-in-law that lent him the money for barber school?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, he has a daughter that's now 18. So mind you, this means it's Robert's sister's daughter.
Robert's sister's daughter. Oh, that's his niece.
His niece. Yep.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He takes a liking to her. He begins an affair with her.
Dear God.
He's such a Romeo. He convinces her to run away with him to California. I think she's 18. Yeah, 18.
Oh, God.
And at this time, he opens up yet another barbershop in California, and he sets up his new niece as a manicurist there. I know. Gross.
With a life insurance policy?
Apparently not, surprisingly. I think he actually likes this one.
Oh, all right. Well, she's only 18.
Yeah. Well, and it's incest. But I read different accounts. Yeah. Little illegal. Yeah. So I read differing accounts of this part. So I'm not exactly sure how the niece fits in right at this moment.
Okay.
But that's the last account of her I found up to this point.
Okay.
It seems Robert's barbershop, it's doing well and making a lot of money, and it's growing. So he hires another manicurist.
Okay.
In addition to the niece. She's a tall, beautiful 26-year-old blonde named Mary Bush.
Sorry. Sorry.
Mary Big Bush. Wait, no. She spent her years growing up in Michigan, and eventually she moved to California. And she saw this job for a manicurist at a thriving barbershop in 1935. So it's Robert's, and she takes the job.
Okay.
Just a month after hiring Mary.
Oh, God.
Robert, he's now in his late 30s, convinces Mary to marry him.
Wow, that was quick.
I know. He must be so smooth.
The niece is just...
Yeah, the niece is still there. I don't know if he's still...
Oh, God. I don't even know.
Banging the niece. I don't know.
Okay.
He gets around. So he quickly takes out a $10,000 life insurance policy on Mary. And 3 months into the marriage, Mary becomes pregnant.
Oh.
So you think maybe that'll change things? No, even the prospect of a baby doesn't stop Robert's greed.
Oh, God. That wasn't part of the plan.
No, he was like, I did not plan for that. Oops, that's what might happen. Robert solicits the help of one of his customers. He's a cash-strapped ex-sailor and fry cook named Charles Hope. Okay. So first, the pair try killing Mary by releasing, you'll love this, black widows where she's working in her garden.
Oh my God. That is a weird and creepy way to kill somebody.
It's wicked. Yeah. So Mary complains in a letter to a friend.
God.
Yeah. So apparently she loves gardening. So they're like, this is the place to do it.
Oh my God. I can't stop itching now.
I know.
Like, so
like, she writes a friend and she tells her friend that I've had a swollen leg from a bite I received in my garden, but I'm okay. So it didn't kill her. If it was one of the black widows that bit her. Oh
my God.
She didn't die, but so that didn't work. So I guess there's no cliffs he can drive her off of here.
Oh my God. Okay.
Robert and Charles decide to try rattlesnakes.
Jesus.
And yeah, Robert tells Charles, you know what, dude, I'll give you $100 if you get a couple of the deadliest snakes you can find. So good old Chuck, we'll call him. He meets up. This is Charles.
Oh God.
He meets up with a man known as Snake Joe.
Is that like, wait, what's the one? Tiger.
Oh, Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Yes. This should be the Snake King.
Joe Exotic.
Oh, yes. Joe. Maybe it is. This was his former life before the tigers.
Oh my God. Snake Joe.
Snake Joe. And Snake Joe has a snake farm in Pasadena. And the pair of men, Robert and Charles, they claim the snakes are being purchased to settle a bet. And I saw two different stories about this. One story said the bet was to see if a dog would win against the snake or vice versa. Awful.
That's terrible.
Horrible.
I mean, he's using this to kill his wife, and yet still I'm like,
and yet
dog.
Still the dog.
What the dog do to you? Hell.
Seriously. That's not fair. Another version said they just wanted to see if it could strike and eat a big rabbit that was on their land.
Poor rabbit.
Yeah.
Again.
Not fair. So they ended up with 2 6-year-old desert diamondbacks named Lethal and Lightning. So even then, men were douches.
Lethal and Lightning. Oh my God. Okay.
It worked. So then they set about putting their plan into motion. Robert convinced Mary to get an abortion, which was illegal at the time.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So he claims, you know what, I found a doctor. He'll perform it at our house.
Sanitary.
Yeah. Oh, in the comfort of your home.
Right.
But they'd have to cover her eyes so the doctor's identity would remain unknown since it was illegal. They didn't want to get him in trouble.
Oh my, so that's how you do. Oh my God. Okay.
I know. Okay. No. So wouldn't he have to too? I don't know.
No, he's got to know what he's doing.
No, I meant Robert, not the doctor. That'd be hilarious. Cover your eyes. Good luck with that.
Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to touch that. That was not one of the. Oh God.
Wrong hole.
Wrong hole. Excuse me. You're not going to find the baby in there. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, so Robert's like convinces her to do this, which is awful. Mm-hmm. He fills her with whiskey and bromides, which I'm like, the only bromides I've heard of are like salts you use in your bath. But maybe back then it was like a calming drug or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So once Mary goes unconscious, Robert places her on the table in their breakfast nook.
Breakfast is ruined forever.
Oh
my God.
So he ties Mary to the table. Her mouth and eyes are covered with tape. Oh, this is awful. The snakes are in a box. They're angry, hissing. Robert stuffs not Larry's, but Mary's leg into the box where the snakes bite her 3 times. Oh, horrifying. She was so out of it that she kind of just moaned when they were biting her.
Oh my God.
But then for hours, Mary's just writhing in agony. But venom's not a quick killer. I mean, it takes.
Oh God.
So for hours, this was like, maybe 8 or 9 at night. Finally at 2 a.m, Charles, he's panicked. He's not knowing what to do. So he goes and sits in the car in a garage because he's like, I just can't watch this anymore. And he's waiting for Robert to come tell him, okay, she's dead. So Robert continuously comes out, gives him updates, nips a whiskey. I know.
Oh my God.
To try to calm his nerves, but hours continue to pass. She's still writhing in pain.
Oh my God.
Robert finally runs out of patience and he drowns her in the bathtub.
Jesus. Oh my God.
I know. It's so cruel. So now it's late into the night, and the two men carry Mary's body out to the fish pond on the property and lay her by the fish pond to kind of make it seem like an accident.
Looks like she got bit by snakes and then drowned.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the next day, because it was so close to the next morning, Robert goes to the barbershop to go to work. He invites friends over to his house to have dinner later. Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is
guy
part
is
of
such
his
a tool.
plan. I know. They all, except Robert, assume Mary's home cooking dinner, right?
Right.
But when they get there, they're concerned when Mary's not anywhere to be found. They're like, what happened to Mary?
Yeah.
Robert puts on this great show of being the worried husband. He's like, oh my gosh, we better go look for her. So sends everyone out to go search the property. And soon enough, they come across Mary's body by the pond. She's got a swollen blue leg with puncture marks all over it.
Jesus.
So the cops are called and they labeled the death an accidental drowning.
Of course they did.
But this time, Robert's not getting away so easily. So Robert applies to redeem the money from Mary's insurance policy. But this time, the insurance investigator assigned to the case actually did his job. And he looked into Robert. Yeah.
Oh.
So his interest was piqued when he saw Robert had been married 5 times.
Yeah, that's a lot of times. Yeah.
And then another wife had also drowned. So he's like, you know, I need
another one. Oh, no, she's the one who went off the cliff.
Went off the cliff and then drowned.
Right. Gotcha.
They didn't mention the nephew, but I'm sure they figured that out too. So
Hey, he also collected
weird.
From a nephew died. Okay.
Weird. That just keeps happening. He goes and tells the cops what he found, and the cops are like, all right. So they actually go and bug Robert's house because that was the thing to do back then, I guess. So
they had that technology?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, all right.
So they went and bugged his house. And so the bugs reveal that Robert was still in a relationship with his niece.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So they're able to arrest him for incest, and he's taken in for interrogation.
So I wonder what her thoughts about this. Well, for one, the fact that he got married to somebody else. And then 2, she died under these strange circumstances.
You know, from what it sounds like, I'm kind of wondering if she got if that type of brain power runs in the family. Because when they interviewed her, she just was like, what? I had no idea. Oh, no, that's awful type of thing.
You know, for someone who was less than a halfwit, I mean, he's gotten away with murder 3 times now.
Right. I've been kind of impressed. I was surprised they called him less than a halfwit. So it must be like in maybe how he wrote, maybe he couldn't read or write or something. I don't know. But
how he presented himself. But that doesn't necessarily
somehow
mean.
People thought he was stupid, but doesn't seem like he really was. But the niece kind of sounds a little that, or she's just pretending and lying.
Right.
During his interrogation, Robert confessed, kind of. He claims, he's like, I'll claim the least. So he claims Charles had planned the murder.
For the benefit of...
Right, of what?
What?
Why?
What's he going to get out of it?
Exactly. So here's where the stupid comes in, I guess. So at Robert's house, investigators find several pamphlets from marriage bureaus. I love that. So official name, but it was an old-timey matchmaking service.
Okay.
So they found an envelope with a list of nearly 200 special marriage prospects Robert had saved.
But he's got the niece. Or unless he really likes her. So he's not going to actually marry.
Yeah. So I think he's just keeping her as a
She's the actual love interest.
Yes.
This is work.
This is work. This is my livelihood here.
Right. I don't mix business and pleasure. That's business. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. One of the women on this list, her name was underlined several times. It was the name of a 53-year-old widow in New York who made $10,000 yearly. That doesn't sound like much, but that equals about $217,000 in today's numbers. She makes that yearly.
What the hell did she do?
I wonder if it was a widow's benefits, but why? Like that's how you try to gain men. Like this is how much I make.
Right.
So
but if that's your widow's benefits, then you don't still get that if you get remarried.
No, yeah,
I don't understand.
That's
interesting.
True. Maybe it's not widows. Maybe she just inherited a lot of money. I don't know.
You know, yeah, okay, but damn, okay,
damn. So she makes a lot of money.
That's his kind of.
Yeah. When they said 10,000, I was like, But then I looked up how much it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his kind of person, though. That's
he's liking this lady. So Robert and Charles are arraigned together on May 6th of 1937. They're actually handcuffed together. So did not know they did that in those days, but I think they learned from this why you know what?
That. I mean, he said he was kinky, so maybe
maybe he liked it. Maybe he was like, please put us together.
He was into it.
Yeah. So they're on the May 6th of 1937. Geez. They were charged with first-degree murder. And the men are handcuffed together, but they had to be separated when Robert was loudly threatening Charles that if he pleads guilty, he'll break his neck. So we'll put you in separate rooms.
Right. I think maybe we'll separate you guys. We better get a second pair of handcuffs over here.
Yeah. So meanwhile, in a room in the district attorney's office, they're conducting a test. So a group of men are huddled over a box of hissing snakes. Fun. Snake Joe. He's here. He's back.
Okay.
He bent over the box. He caught the snakes, lethal and lightning, and he milks them to collect their venom, in the jar like they do.
Ew. That's just such a gross way to say he milked them.
I know.
All I can hear is meet the Fockers. I have nipples. Can you milk me, Greg?
Milk the cat.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry.
And meanwhile, they're doing that. They're milking the snakes. And apparently the law took very seriously the incest charges because Robert was sentenced to 150 years on 3 morals charges involving his niece.
I don't think you can get 150 years now for that. That's
especially not even for murder. You can't get that.
Rest.
No. As for the murder charge, his fate was sealed when Charles did plead guilty to his part in the murder in exchange to avoid the death sentence. Yeah. So, whoops. And the discovery of a black widow spider nest at Robert's house and Charles' testimony also helped prove Robert's guilt. Although, I don't know, I have black widow nests everywhere around here, so don't think that's all that damning. I mean, we have them all over in our garage every time you move something.
Well, but if that's not where they naturally
nest
live, and now they have a nest there because he introduced them. I don't know. That is weird, though. Yeah.
We have them all over all the time.
But I guess that it kind of corroborates.
Yeah.
Wow. There's no
collaborate.
W in there. There's no W in that word. Corroborates the story of.
Yes, of Charles, because Charles told him all that. During the trial, Robert pled not guilty by reason of insanity. But
I don't think that's how insanity works.
Nope. He planned every one of these, dude.
Pretty damn sane to me.
Yeah. He also claimed his confession had been coerced by police, which possibly a little.
Okay.
I guess he got a little beat up in it, but this was strange. During the trial, the lawyers also pit Robert directly against Charles. So they decide to have the 2 men reenact Mary's murder together.
I'm sorry, in court?
In the courtroom.
Man, there's a jury I would want to be on. I'd be like, let's see how this went down. I want to see you guys do this.
It's so bizarre. So Robert lay on the heavy wood table of the attorney. He's playing the part of Mary.
He played the part of Mary. So he didn't play himself. He didn't play himself.
No, he
played the victim.
Yes, he played the part of Mary.
Okay.
And Charles played the part of Robert.
And who played Charles's part?
Exactly. Nobody.
Or was there just the court reporter just sat in a room to the side drinking whiskey and waiting for reports on how it was going?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Charles was supposed to grab Robert's foot and jam it into a replica of the original snake box to show how that happened. But during that, the actual snakes, Lethal and Lightning, were brought into the court in a cage as evidence while they're doing this. So drama.
Oh my God.
They're like alive. They're rattling. They're upset.
Okay. So yeah, if I had been a jury member, I would not be focusing. I'd be like, I'm sorry, could you remove the snakes? I can't follow the testimony right now. I'm worried about dying.
No, during this, Robert and Charles begin arguing and get into a scuffle.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Just babies. So they had to call a recess. Like, okay, this is getting out of hand. So they come back, everybody comes back to court after recess, and people are horrified to find out that Lethal, the Diamondback, had escaped.
Oh, fuck no.
He is in the courtroom he's loudly rattling under a bookcase. Everyone's like, shit.
No, I'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say he's guilty now. Yeah. And you guys can
I go, please?
Mark me down as that, and I'm out of here.
Yeah. Oh. So people are freaking out. Snake Joe once again is called upon.
This is like a really bad episode of like How to Get Away with Murder or something.
Totally. It seems so ridiculous. So Snake Joe gets in there. He is able to round up the angry snake.
Go Snake Joe.
Snake Joe's kind of amazing. He's like the hero of the story over and over and over again.
He's the Joe Exotic of our story.
But not the killer or whatever Joe was. Right. He was bad. So on July 25th, Robert was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced. Yes. What? How dare you? I'm crazy.
To a year in a snake pen.
Yeah. That would have been perfect.
Right?
Eye for an eye. But no, he was sentenced to hang.
Oh.
When he learned of his fate, he simply muttered, "I can take it." And I'm like, no, you can't. You will die. Do you understand?
No, yeah, you can't just take it.
No, you won't take it.
Right. I'll just fight through the pain. What?
Are you sure?
But also, I feel like that's a little too quick of a death for someone who let his wife.
Oh, karma steps in.
Oh, come on, karma.
It's okay. So Robert spent his final years in prison filing appeal after appeal with no luck. Okay. But he did find Jesus. So
where was he? In his cell?
Oh my God. I saw the best meme that makes me think of. It was a photo of a map, and what did she say? She said, I feel like I'm being threatened by my Uber driver. And on it said, prepare to meet Jesus outside shortly. Prepare to meet Jesus. But I'm sure it was Jesus was her Uber driver.
Oh my God, I think he's threatening me.
Prepare to meet Jesus shortly. No.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so he finds Jesus in jail with the help of a religious worker who seems enamored with him. What is this?
Okay, I don't want to hear about like guys who say that they can't get girls based on their looks. Because
absolutely,
this guy has married 5 times. He got an 18-year-old niece and the religious worker at the church.
Yes,
so just
and apparently at this time he's way overweight. And I mean, he wasn't good looking before, and this makes it even less, but obviously he's charming, so it worked. Anyway, on May 2nd of 1942, Robert James became the last man to hang in the state of California, but the execution wasn't a smooth one. This is where karma came in.
Please tell me there was a black widow hanging off his rope that bit him in the back of the neck while he was hanging there.
That would have been nice. Yeah, no. Well, that would have been too quick because the rope length on this guy was too long. And so it took 10 minutes for Rattlesnake James to die. 10 minutes. Good. And people, they said in the crowd, people were like throwing up and stuff because it was so violent and blood seeping out of him and all that kind of stuff. So
Jesus.
So he got his
good. Well, I thought he was going to power through it.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
I can take it.
I can take it. Okay.
Yeah, you can. So Rattlesnake James, as he became known, was so famous, and he was so proud for it because of his new name. While in jail, that his photographers were allowed to do photo shoots with him.
Oh, for the love of God, really?
So they would have him pose with a saw, pretending to cut the bars.
They gave him a saw?
They gave him a saw.
Oh my God.
I know. He must have been charming enough to convince the cops to do that. Jesus. So another shows him with a cigar. He's smiling and the prison bars are behind him, you know. They're like prisoner glamour shots. It was
prisoner glamour.
I did not know that was a
oh my
thing
God.
you could have. But anyway, that is the story of Rattlesnake James.
Holy crap.
Finally stopped.
James. Damn. I mean, honestly, to use snakes and spiders.
Awful.
And this wasn't Hogwarts. This is what they used to kill people.
It wasn't even wizards.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I just had recently seen an article about a guy. Oh, I think he was like a QAnon dude planning to kill a congressperson with a box of snakes, like planning to put their leg in a box of snakes. So I'm guessing you must have gotten it from this story. Obviously,
copycat.
He got caught. Yeah.
Been there, done that. Come up with a fresh idea.
Figure out something new. Don't steal other people's ideas.
God, stick someone's. No, what you got to do is do like when you go to a carnival or whatever, and they say you're going to stick your hand in like eyeballs, but really it's just like peeled grapes or whatever.
Ew, yep.
Right, you do that, but you have the snake in there.
Oh, genius. See, he should have talked to you.
See, that's not. I didn't just admit to anything.
Yeah.
I just want to say
you're under investigation now.
Right. No one's going to, honestly, though, no one is going to believe that I would choose to use snakes or
you would not
spiders.
Get close enough to touch any of those.
No. Sorry. Not my speed.
No.
So, that was a great story.
It would be funny to put those wind up teeth, chattering teeth in one, though. That would be interesting.
That would be hilarious. It bit me! I love it. Oh my God. That was a great story. Where did you find that one?
Oh, okay. We've got.
We're like, okay.
Wait until you hear this source. Executedtoday.com.
Is that something you can subscribe to? Will it come in my mailbox?
Probably. I don't know. Kind of like your issues.
Executed Today.
Murderpedia, of course.
Right.
Wikipedia, echopress.com, lamag.com, and latimes.com. But yeah, Executed Today. I think it's like stories about people who were executed on that day in history, each day.
I see. Okay. What a fun thing to research.
Fun.
How uplifting. I mean, it can't be any worse than my guy who liked to...
yes, the graves or whatever.
The graves. Right. Necropsies.
Yeah.
Or wait, what was the publication
Necropsy
or whatever?
Of the week.
It's like, God.
Yes.
God.
Autopsy of the day.
Oh my God.
Forrest would love that one. She'd be.
That was a fun story.
That's why the historical ones are so good. They're so far-fetched, and you're like,
they're so ridiculous. You're like, there's no way this would really happen. And yet it did.
It did.
And yet. Oh my God.
So yeah, I'll have to show you pictures of this dude. He's not hot.
He's not. He is not hot.
No. But his last bride was really pretty. That Mary, she was so cute. So what a piece of shit. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us again, everybody.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. See you next week.
Bye.
Hey, Oddies. Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com. And if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.